angelic. Smells good. Yes. Since going, just started the live. What were you going to do if I didn't show up? Talk. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to do that. It's good. It's good. Am I starting or are you starting? You're starting. When you're ready.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson and author Terry Angel. So glad to be with you this morning. Wanted to bring to you this beautiful, beautiful book, now finally for sale, Midnight Calls and Dawn Arises. So, Terry, you're going to tell us about this book, please, but this is number 2 in a series. So tell us about the first book and how that came to be.
Okay. The backstory. so in December of 21, the angels told me that they were going to be giving me a message every day. And let me take these off because I've got a glare. So I always argue with my angels. I always talk back to them just like I'm talking to a person. And I said, really? Every day you're going to give me a message? Okay. And sure enough, they did. Every day for that year, I sat with them at night. I received a message. And I thought at the end of the year, done. Thank you. I'll check that off my list. And they're going, oh, no. You're now going to put that into a book. And not only did it become one book, but it became 2 books, thanks to this lady right here. And an inspired thought from the angels of taking excerpts from the bigger book and putting it in the tiny book of angel messages, which I don't have one right in front of me, but last year's tiny book. Yeah. So then they continued giving the messages. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's do it again. And I got a little smarter with the second one, and I started putting it in a document so that I didn't have as much work to do at the end of the year. And it became, well, the first one, I don't think I mentioned, Midnight Calls from the Angels, with the angels. And then this one, Midnight Calls and Dawn Arises. And the reason for midnight calls is that's what happens. Around midnight, sometimes a little bit later, they just want me to sit with them, and they have a message for all of us. So these books are a compilation of all those messages of me just sitting and questioning them, and then them giving us something to hold on to, some inspiration, some hope. Sometimes a little bit of a talking to. They can get stern at times when we're not getting the lesson. So thank you all for showing up today. I see you. Thank you for being here with us and for sharing out this beautiful message of hope and inspiration from the angels. To me, they're so beautiful as I even look back through the book, and I forget, as time goes on, because there's so many of them, and I'll read through one. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty profound there, angels. So I'm hoping that you will find some inspiration in this as well.
So can I read one? Mm-hmm. I'm guessing we won't run into copyright problems because I've got the author right here.
I think I'll allow it.
Thank you. Let's see. Susie Duck.
I love that one.
Okay, I just have to hear what this one is because I love the title. Susie Duck. Okay, so I'm taking the things out.
Yeah, that's fine.
So remember, this is the longer version. So for each one of these, there's a quote. There's a little bit of a backstory. Then there's something that starts with Dear Angels, which is sort of posing the question. And then there's the answer, Dear Ones. So this is calling to me, Susie Duck. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return. By Leonardo da Vinci. Isn't that true? I mean, that's just about like meditation and prayer.
Yes.
And once you've ever been there, you just want to go back.
Mhm.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's enough for me, right? There, just giving a quote. In a conversation with my friend Norman today, he shared a wonderful story that I'm taking the liberty of telling you. He lives in a very beautiful part of Florida, surrounded by small lakes, ponds, and golf courses. He was walking by one of the ponds where a duck family had set up their home. He saw Mr. and Mrs. Duck out in the water with their family of baby ducklings and enjoyed seeing them enjoying the sunshine and cool water. Suddenly, his attention was drawn to a noise nearby. He spotted the source of it as he saw one tiny duckling, who we will call Susie Duck. Later, Susie had been napping when the rest of the family took off, and now she was in a panic. She was crying out for help, frantically looking for Mom and Dad. Norman wondered if he should try to guide Susie to the pond to rejoin her family. Would it frighten her even more? As he was asking for guidance from the angels, he saw the dad rushing to little Susie's rescue. How amazing, he thought. What a great message for us humans that animals show such love and concern for their young. When I was a young teenager, I had gone off to my sacred spot to be with the angels. And when I got back home, only my mom and the midwife were there. You see, my mom delivered 13 babies at home with the aid of a midwife. When it was her time, an older sister would come and collect all the children living at home to give our mother privacy and probably not scare us to death. I was met at the door by the midwife, who scolded me, of course, for being there. I was told to wait outside until someone came for me. Being left behind was more confirmation of being invisible, not seen, not heard. Even today, it can bring up raw feelings if I allow it. Dear angels, the pain of being left out can feel overwhelming as it triggers feelings of rejection, loneliness, and disconnection. It's that sense of not belonging, of being on the outside looking in and feeling like no one understands or cares about you. These feelings can be especially difficult to cope with when they come from people we care about deeply, such as friends or family members. So here's the answer. Dear ones, not being included in activities, conversations, gatherings can be quite hurtful indeed. We encourage you to not go into negative self-talk or blaming others. Sometimes it is a life lesson you are here to master in this lifetime. Knowing your worthiness is something only you can fully work through. Remember that you are enough and you are deserving of every good and wonderful doing in life. Remember that being left out is not a reflection of your worth as a person. Allow this to be a learning experience for you and take the opportunity to grow from it and develop more self-awareness and self-love. You cannot control what another person chooses to do in life, but you can control what you do, think, and how you respond to life's lessons. Be gentle with yourself as you walk through these fires of life. That's a good phrase, fires of life. Sometimes you may need to be like Susie Duck and yell out for help. We are right there beside you. Dear angels, thank you. I love you. Namaste, y'all. Today I promise to use more awareness in my everyday life. Aw, Susie Duck.
Susie Duck.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. And every time when something is brought up as a memory, whether it's from my own life or experiences or just things in the world, the angels are so profound in the way they teach. They're so gentle, and they always have exactly what we need to hear. Always. Sometimes we don't think so. We're like, I already knew that. Tell me something different, right? But they always put it in a way that's going to be a life lesson for us. So this is really a book of like maybe 365 life lessons. Yeah.
Well, and it's such easy reading. I mean, you
Mhm.
can either choose to go through it one a day,
Yeah.
and or you can just go to it like I did and just go, okay, what feels like a hit to me, and read that one. But this is a wonderful gift for someone. I think really even too for those folks that aren't that comfortable with spirituality.
Yes.
It's kind of an easy in because it's just general good advice.
It is. It's not religious. I don't have
Yeah.
anything against religion, but I tend to go to more the spiritual side, go directly to God, directly to the angels, and have them do their job as messengers. And so, if you think somebody's going to have a problem with it being religious, it's not. It's not denominational. It's just life, and living this life the best we can. One thing I want to mention is there is in the very front of the book, and I guess you would call it an index of all of the messages, the titles of them. They give me the title every night. I write this out and then I look at it and I'm going, okay, what do I call this one? And so there's titles in the front. So if something reaches out to you from one of the titles, just go see what it's all about, just like what Ruth did. Susie Duck, what is that all about? And so they try to make the titles interesting or pertinent to what's in the message so that you can be inspired to look at it and to read it. But this isn't a book you're just going to sit down and read from front cover to cover. You can, like Ruth said, but take in the meaning of each message. Read it in the morning or at night before you go to bed, and then just reflect on it. Do a little meditation and say, what does that mean to me? So just like this message that she read, there may be some of you out there that felt invisible in your lifetime, or maybe you felt lonely, or like you were being left out, right? I've talked to so many people that, they just feel like they don't belong in the crowd, and maybe that's not their tribe. So see what message comes to you each time that you read from this.
But Terry, even with that message, one of the things you said was maybe there's a life lesson
Mm-hmm.
in there.
Yeah.
And I remember one time that I went into meditation and I felt really needy and I really wanted to hear an answer from the angels. And in meditation, I saw them and they all had their backs to me. And I thought, what? What? How is that even fair? I mean, not only am I dealing with this life issue, but now my team has turned their backs on me.
Right.
And then I realized, oh, no. This one is not for me to just get the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
This one is for me to live and get the answer to. And goosebumps, even as I'm saying
Right.
that. So it wasn't that they were turning their backs on me. They just wanted me to experience it, because that's why we're here, is to have these experiences and learn these lessons. So I appreciated that part in the Susie Duck one.
Yeah.
It really kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah, I think there's something that everybody can relate to in these messages. I would you read the foreword to this book? Every year, well, there's only been two, but each year.
But every year.
Somebody special has written the foreword. Last year, in Midnight Calls with the Angels, Dr. Ruth Anderson wrote the foreword for me.
I did.
So I'd love for her to read this year's.
Okay, this is by Reverend Kathleen Caputo, who we all love and adore. And Huddle Bear. You get one, you get them both. That's right. The one thing we can always be sure of: after the darkness, dawn arises. Have you ever been in a place, situation, or challenge when you needed a wise advisor? Sometimes we just need to hear, it's going to be all right, you can do this, or you can get through this. I certainly have, and I am pretty sure most of us have had that experience. When we are too close to a situation or just need something to lift us up, we might welcome a little help or guidance. What better advisor than a divine messenger or angel? Even as a minister who counsels others, I can use the wisdom of an angel at times. Your occupation, customs, or mission in life makes no difference. as we are all spiritual beings, but also human. Several years ago, I was introduced to Terry Angel, who receives messages from the angels every night. I have been so blessed by her friendship, meditations, and the messages she receives from the angels that she so lovingly gifts us as she generously shares them every day. Now she is sharing them with all of you who read this book of divine wisdom. There is gold on every page of this book. That's beautiful, and that's so true, actually. Read it from cover to cover or open to a random page, and you will see the guidance you seek. Open it to start your day on a positive note during the day to remind you of the power within you and your connection to all, and at night to rest your mind with peace. As we go through our life journey, the angels have given us the way to move out of the darkness into the dawn through the messages they have entrusted with Terry. You will find much love and peace here. That's beautiful, Kathleen.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. Well, and that's one thing I want to mention. Look at who they trusted to bring these messages in. They're trusting Terry, and the reason that they're trusting Terry is because Terry comes in as a clear channel. She doesn't come with ego. She doesn't come with an agenda. She comes really just wanting to present what they're giving her. So I think their choice in Messenger is brilliant. And you just look at the book and you can tell it's just one loving message after another. And every single one of the messages is a message of support and love.
Yeah.
You can't separate this book from that realization that the angels are here to support us in love. Pure and simple.
Absolutely. They're a gift. And the more we recognize them as a gift, they're going to lift us. They're going to heal. They're going to lead us to people to connect with. It's just an amazing journey to listen to them every day. And when they gave me that message, I thought, wow, you're really asking a lot of me, angels, because I was already busy. As you all know, I've been on this journey of traveling for, almost 4 years now. And I'm like, okay, you're just adding to my heap, right? But boy, it was such a wonderful addition to what I do. So yeah, it's not a burden at all to sit and listen to them. And, there are nights when I think I need toothpicks to hold my eyes open, but I just enjoy listening to them and feeling their energy. Can we talk about feeling the angels, Ruth? Oh my gosh, it has been such a blessing over the last week.
Here's what I found.
Oh, thank you, Siri.
Thanks, Siri.
Over this last week, I have been hosting the angels in the house where I'm at, and then I passed them on to Ruth. So Ruth has been over here with me while the angels were here. And the first time she walked in while they were here, she saw them, she felt them, she knew exactly where they were.
Right up there.
Yeah. So it's not just me. I'm not special. I'm just a person open to seeing and hearing and feeling them. Anybody can feel their energy. Anybody. Just open your mind. And when I see them, they're here now because Ruth brought them back over. They wanted to be here for the party. I see like sparkly lights, just like this essence that's there. I always have from the very beginning when I was a little kid, and that's how I still see them. So Ruth, when you walked in and you knew where they were, how did that show to you? How did you know that that's where they were?
So there's a staircase right there. That's why it looks like I'm pointing to the ceiling, but it's actually a staircase. And I don't see them. I feel them.
Okay.
So I don't get
that
like
makes sense.
really defined features or anything, but I could feel that they were lined up on on the landing there, and I could feel Archangel Charity over here in the corner working on something. But what was so funny, I was telling Terry last night, because the angels are in my house right now. Actually, right now they're right here. But last night they were in my house, and the dog woke up and barked, and then I experienced Archangel Raphael was in my bedroom. And at one point, he had told me to do something, and I wanted to go back to sleep. And I ignored him, and he says, I know you can hear me. And I thought, I know you know I can hear you. Okay, fine. But yeah, so for me, I see them, and then I can hear them, sense them.
But I'm remembering, Ruth, that you had an experience with Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Yes. So I was taking classes learning about intuition, because I had had a lot of intuitive experiences and I couldn't really understand it, and what did it mean and how did it come to me and all of that stuff. And I remember thinking I really wanted to meet an angel, but all I had seen was like the cards with the really voluptuous vixeny angel representations, and I thought, no, that's not I can't do that. And I was driving to class, and I said out loud, I guess there's no such thing as angels. And then in class we went into meditation, and in this meditation I was shown this broad, weird, grayish thing with little like prickly things. And I said, what is that? And they backed me up, and I saw it was the back of a wing. And I went, oh, I guess there are such things as angels. And I said, who are you? And it was Michael. So yeah, that was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did see clarity on that one.
Right.
But usually now I don't think I've never seen like their face.
Yeah, like I said, I see energy. I don't see, like most people depict the angels as a human form with wings. That's not what I see. I just see the energy of them, and the wings are energetic. They do have wings. They're just beautiful, beautiful beings. And it's so funny because they give us signs. They leave us things and show us, the evidence that they were there. So as I said, Ruth took the angels with her when she left here yesterday. And I go upstairs, and I think I was going to feed the cats or something, and I see something on the floor, and I'm going, what the heck's on the floor? It was a little tiny feather. Now, there is absolutely no reason for a feather to be upstairs. There's no pillows up there. There's nothing that a feather would fall out of. But it was laying there in plain sight in the middle of the floor. And so I shared with Ruth, the angels left me a present. They didn't want me to be alone because you took my angels away. Yeah. And they don't really go away. They're always with us. Just call on them. They're right there. And you thought that, she was asking about your experience, ESP, sensing the beings like ESP sort of experience. Yeah, well, the third eye is our sixth sense, which a lot of people call ESP. And that's what we use to communicate with spirit. We see them, we hear them, we talk to them through that extrasensory perception that we have. And it is a spiritual gift. We all have it. You can develop it, like Ruth was mentioning a class that she took. Mm-hmm. You can develop through meditation, through intention, and get all of your spiritual gifts revved up, because it's a beautiful experience to be with the angels.
It is. And Jean said she sees them, feels them higher by the ceiling. I have definitely experienced spirit up in the ceiling sometimes. So yeah, it's just interesting. Something like right now, I just sense them standing like kind of lined up right here. which is not the ceiling. But before, when I was, yeah, it is interesting sometimes. And I think sometimes they really want us to see them. And it's like, I'm here. Hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
And other times they're just sort of hanging out.
Yeah, they are. And they're very happy because they wrote this book. All of the books, they wrote it. I just took the message down. I just typed it up, put it out there. And so they're very happy, and they're here to celebrate their book that has arrived into the world. And I appreciate everyone that's going to go in and buy it, whether you buy it in the paperback, which I love paperback books, and it's also in the Kindle version that you can get. And a lot of people have already started reading it because you pre-ordered the Kindle and you have it already. Kathleen Caputo, who wrote the foreword, she started reading it last night. So it's an amazing journey to have these books come out. And the little book, I think Ruth held that up at one point. This is the companion to it, which is also on Amazon. So a lot of people have been buying these in bulk to give as gifts.
They're great gifts.
Because, it's just so easy to open up to a page. And like this one, when you commit yourselves to this journey, you become awakened souls connected to the divine source of all creation. As you walk together hand in hand in one accord on this transformative path, embrace the radiance within and shine your light upon the world.
That's beautiful.
It's so full of profound thoughts like that. And you can just open it to any page and get a message for yourself and just hand it out to people. Let them see that, there's hope in the world. We have so much negativity, everything's spewing out negative these days. Let's spew out the positive. Let's bring in a light for people to hold on to.
But Terry, there's a really important piece that we have not brought up here, which is the angels are a gift from the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And they want all of the glory going to the Creator.
Yes.
We don't pray to the archangels. It doesn't end at the archangels because they are the conduits up to the Creator. So both of these books are coming to Terry through the angels, but it's all so the glory goes not to them, but to the Creator.
Yeah, and they make sure to tell us not to pray to them, not to worship them. And many times they've given me the message that they're on the same level as us. They're not greater than us. They're just simply a different entity that is providing us a way to hear more clearly the messages or to understand them, just like a teacher would stand in front of a class and teach us a lesson. They do that for us. So thank you, Ruth, for that clarification. I think that was Raphael that told you to say that.
I know you can hear me.
Yeah. So any questions that you all have? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. And I want to see what Jean said. This book, just as the first, is a beautiful way to connect with your angels and the divine. Once you connect with them, you will never be alone again. Wonderful tool for spiritual growth and daily life. Oh, thank you, Jean. Beautiful words. And Jean has actually observed the messages being written. She was with me for 4 months along the Peace on Earth tour, and she would watch it happen at night. Just an amazing journey. And I'm so glad that she was able to give me that insight. Excuse me, because I can't watch myself as an observer, because while I'm listening to them, I'm totally focused on them. And she shares the story. Gina, I hope it's okay if I share. She was watching one night. I take my computer into bed with me, and that's where I'm typing because it is late at night. And she said she saw sparkly lights, like the length of my body up above, just this beautiful energy that she could observe. And she thought I was asleep. And she said, all of a sudden, my fingers were moving and I was typing. so that's how it happens. I hear, I type, and then it's done. And sometimes I don't remember it until I read back over it because it's not my words, it's their words. So thank you, Jean, for being my observer and such a beautiful companion. So I appreciate all of you coming in. I saw Jean and Andrea, Sophia, Rigo is here, Annie Seven, Charlie. I saw
Deirdre showed up.
And Uthapa on YouTube. And Catherine Kovacs, hello to you. All right, so we have a question. Is it safe to contact angels if you're unsure of doing it?
I would say first find your true north. And so if your true north is connecting with God, or if your true north is connecting with Christ, you start there, you bring that energy into the room, and then you can ask to meet the angels. Well, any angel has to be able to be in that energy of the creator. Otherwise, they're not a high enough vibrational energy to be an angel that you want to be learning from. So always, in my mind, always start with your true north.
Always. And I love to use the expression and the intention, only love and light is welcome to come into my energy. So when you do that, you're covering yourself with that energy of love and light and that intention. And when you put that out there, that's a shield. So you're shielding yourself against anything that's coming to you. So the angels are light. They're pure light. And you'll know if something different is trying to connect with you, because when we open ourselves to spirit, anything can happen. But if you know that you're staying in the light, then that's what you're going to feel. If it feels any different, if it doesn't feel good, back away from it. Just say, no, only love and light is welcome here.
Well, and if you bring in Christ or the creator energy and that being goes away, it's because they weren't high enough vibrationally to stay in that light. So that's what you'll see happen. They will go. They'll just go.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking that.
That's great.
Yes, conduct and integrity. Absolutely. You want to remain in high integrity and you want to make sure you know who you're communicating with, just like you want to make sure you know who you're listening to as far as teachers, mentors, other people in your tribe and in your lifetime that you're interacting with. Make sure of where they're coming from. What do they believe? And if you don't know, then ask. Just ask. What is your belief? So thank you for asking.
Great question.
It sure was. And sweet Jean, she said it was a blessing for her. I just loved that part of the journey where Jean was with me and got to meet so many of our spiritual family along the way. It was amazing. So I put the links in the description of this broadcast, and it's available pretty much all over the world. I found out this morning that it's not in Norway, so I'm going to contact KDP, which is publishing the book, and see if we can get it in Norway so that our sweet Lily Ann that's over there can have a copy for herself. But I'm pretty sure anybody can get the Kindle version, no matter where you are.
Well, Terry, congratulations. I'm so excited to see this, and it's fun, friends, to be watching next year's getting created. So
yes, she had a front row seat to that.
I did. So do run out, get this great gift for yourself or somebody that you love, and then don't forget this little companion piece, Angels in My Pocket. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you. And if you're not an Amazon fan, if you just totally don't want to deal with them, it's available on Barnes & Noble. So you can go to their website and order it as well. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and for listening and for interacting. and for being as excited as I am, I think. It's like, oh, today's the day, and it's available and coming out to the world. So thank you. And thank you, Ruth, for being here with me.
Oh,
I love you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, she's my partner in crime. So we will talk to you all later, and I'll give some updates throughout the day. I'll just jump in and do another little PR bit to remind people to go in if you haven't yet to check it out. I will see you all later. Stay in your heart. Stay blessed. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everyone. Oh, Jean's book's coming on Saturday. Yay.
Bye, guys.
Ruth's is coming today.
I'm so excited.
Bye, everybody.